Come on, Granddaddy-O, we got dirt to do.
Come on, Granddaddy-O, we've got dirt to do.
W villains, W fun.
W villains, W fun.
Anyway, aside from quoting Jim Carrey as a Jim Carrey fanboy myself, alrighty then, my royal chums, it is I, Daniel, you may call me the Pop Culture Dude, and not too long ago, we just got the brand new trailer for Sonic 3. Get tickets now with the exclusive Shadow the Hedgehog Japanese poster for any early event screenings, which, full disclosure, I'm planning to go there in my Fat Eggman cosplay suit, and I'm in the process of my Gerald cosplay as well, because, you know, they're both played by Jim Carrey. But anyway, that's not the reason why you click this video. The main reason why you click this video is mainly because you want to see me break down this trailer. After I got a few comments by saying, are you going to break down Easter eggs and references? Originally, I wasn't back then, but now in retrospect, I'm like, you know what? I do have some interesting theories and speculation that I can think about from this brand new trailer. If you have not seen my trailer reaction, go watch it right ahead, where I cannot stop screaming over Eggman pissing on the moon. He's pissing on the moon! He's pissing on the moon! But also, Shadow holding a Glock. Wholesome. Ah! He's holding a gun! He's holding a gun! And also, many other fun references. So, without further ado, let's go straight to the Sonic Movie 3 final trailer, breakdown, predictions, Easter eggs, and so much fun until humanity is enslaved. Alrighty then, my royal chums, just exactly what I did with the first trailer back in late August. This is going to be the desktop I'm going to do in my POV, because I'm going to be rewatching the trailer, but at the exact same time, go into deeper analysis of the Sonic 3's latest trailer. So without further ado, let's start off.
Here we go! Showtime!
What is this den of madness?
Are you Detective Pikachu?
It does look like a Pokemon! Pika Pika!
So as we see the similar shots of what we saw from the first trailer, what we see Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all teaming up, and then when Sonic says, it's showtime, we have a really creative homage of the Chao Garden. If you guys are not aware, especially for longtime Sonic fans, the Chao Garden has been a fan favorite in the Sonic Adventure games, where you have these little small, interesting, cute little creatures that are called the Chaos, which are part of the Chao Garden, which are part of Knuckles' species, the Echidna tribe, which definitely ties up to his origin. And now we get to see them corporate in live action, since they've been a fan favorite specifically in the Sonic Adventure 2 game. It's so amazing that when they go to Japan, they actually have this Chuck E. Cheese inspired restaurant where all the mascots are dressed up. They're all on stage, very Chuck E. Cheese style. Heck, you even see like kids and all these chefs everywhere. So it's more like a, hey, if you're going to incorporate Chao in live action and put them in a Japanese setting, which I think director Jeff Fowler's like, well, Japan is a big fan of anything that's cute with a lot of animated characters, especially since Sonic the Hedgehog is originated by Japan. So I actually find that homage pretty cool. Heck, you even see a couple of Easter eggs to a couple of Sega characters. And then I also like when you go to this next shot with this kid right here. I like that when you're literally looking at the kids' outfits, like they're wearing Chao hats, but you see like 2D art that is heavily inspired by the Chao illustrations that you see in the Sonic Adventure games. And hilariously, where this one little girl literally just confronts the Tails and be like, are you Detective Pikachu? And then Knuckles is laughing like, aha, you exactly look like a Pokemon, Pika Pika. So first of all, I guess Pokemon is now considered canon in the Sonic movie universe. Secondly, Detective Pikachu was like the first video game movie that sort of break the curse, where you have Ryan Reynolds himself, Deadpool, voicing Pikachu.
You're adorable. They can't understand me, kid.
And I just think that's hilarious that Sonic the Hedgehog has 3 movies, while Detective Pikachu had so much Pokemon in it, but it was only just one standalone movie that was supposed to get a sequel, but that never happened to came to be. However, I kind of like, what do you know, another video game movie adaptation, live action references another one, and it's so crazy to hear that out of Idris Elba's words of saying Pika Pika.
All they hear is Pika Pika.
You can hear him, right?
Pika Pika!
I'm just telling you, bro, Knuckles he's not just funny like he was in the second movie in the Knuckles series, he just brings out one of the best quotes. But that being said, as we get to the next shot, even earlier once when you see the child are going out of the lights, you see one mascot, which is basically a homage that kind of reminds me of the Tails action figure for the Sonic Movie 3 figure waves. And also I noticed that the main child in front is kind of like a reference to Cheese, which was like Cream's personal child that she owns from the games, but in reality it's just a Japanese dude in the mascot. But once when the lights were all out, boom, who decides to crash in the party? It's none other than the Eggman. And then this is where Sonic says in response, since he's in Japan,
Konnichiwa.
Sonic just said it back, Konnichiwa. So, because, you know, it means konnichiwa is saying hello in Japanese. But the one thing that is pretty off is like, so basically from the first trailer, it was pretty much described that the gun commander, aka the Olive Garden guy, assigned Team Sonic to stop Shadow just because Project Shadow has been off limits from its security breach and Shadow has been released from Prison Island. And so then I feel like when Team Sonic had their first fight with Shadow, which there has been like more bonus footage where Sonic actually calls him Hot Topic, which like
Just try to keep up.
Good one, Hot Topic.
at least I'm not the only one that just brings up some gothic just by saying, yeah, with your dark aesthetics like a Hot Topic customer. Secondly, even when Shadow takes Sonic down in that separate TV spot, there is a homage that director Jeff Fowler did during the iconic I Am All of Me Shadow opening cutscene where Sonic looks injured and then Sonic's like behind. No. Sonic's in front of Shadow, behind him, and then Shadow's like up in front, just like in that cutscene. So Jeff Fowler did say that was intentional from the reference. But back to the Chao Garden. So in reality, it was Eggman who used his egg drones and decided to shoot Team Sonic down, because in the first trailer, it was shown that Robotnik got out of his fat, chubby quarantine frat bow stage, and then next thing you know, Sonic needs Robotnik's help to stop Shadow. But in reality, Robotnik set Team Sonic up once again, which, once again, you can't really trust the Eggman. I mean, it's been like that in the games, and it's no different here from the movies. So then, the Chao Garden just sadly just got raided by the Eggman. And then we get to this interesting shot where you have all the gun soldiers, all in headquarters, like, down in the main central city of Tokyo, Japan, which, by the way, that is a level in the Sonic X Shadow Generations DLC where Keanu Reeves himself will be doing the voice, which they've already announced it will be coming out later next month when the movie's out from its release. But this shot right here gives me similarities of not just only this one image that we see that Shadow's in the rain. This is clearly like a scene where Shadow breaks out of prison. And secondly, like in the shot in the rain, boy, it's giving me some John Wick vibes, especially the irony that Keanu Reeves plays both characters. And also, I'm thinking this is the moment where Shadow gets pissed off, then his electric sparks really ticks, and then boom, fireball explodes, and that's where Team Sonic came into the illusion of go help out Gun out before it becomes a whole catastrophe. So I can definitely believe it's a beginning. But also, kind of like a homage to Sonic Adventure 2, where Shadow was first introduced, like, down in Station Square and all the way from Sonic was about to get arrested into the hostage by the gun headquarters, but this time it's Shadow's perspective, so I honestly like that parallel that they got from that game.
It's time.
And then this interesting shot where you see Jim Carrey's Gerald Robotnik, aka the creator of Shadow the Hedgehog, the grandfather of Dr. Ivo Robotnik, aka Eggman. Turns out that he is alive because in Sonic Adventure 2, once when his granddaughter Maria, aka Shadow's close best friend, dies, unfortunately, Gerald got very pissed and really got against humanity, thinking that Shadow was supposed to be the ultimate life form. You ungrateful human beings! And now we get to see Gerald's prison site, which it definitely gives you the vibes of the same room where, you know, he got executed in Sonic Adventure 2. But then you see a blueprint illustration sketch of the Eclipse Cam that Gerald Robotnik has planted since the events of Sonic Adventure 2. So now that we're seeing Jim Carrey's Gerald, how is he alive? It's either one by time travel, or he's held captive in prison and then he got released, and probably find a way to release Shadow the Hedgehog out, since Gerald Robotnik is the main reason why he created Shadow. So then Shadow will be the quote-unquote cure for his granddaughter's terminal illness, aka Maria. I'm just saying this out loud for any non-Sonic fans that are watching my videos, or if you don't know the lore, that's how it knows. But there's many other Sonic content creators that just went after this topic. But it looks like the exact same room that Gerald was in. Heck, where even Sonic was arrested in the game that was saved by Amy Rose, which unfortunately she's not in this movie. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, on to the next shot.
It's time, Shadow. Finally, we will have our revenge.
That's where Shadow has like his electric surge that caused the outage of the Tokyo, Japan, just like in the first trailer where you see a whole outage. It's kind of similar how Sonic kind of has his emotional breakdown that caused like an electric outage shock in the first movie, which caused Robotnik to track Sonic down in the first film. And now the third film is Team Shadow. No. Shadow's the one that just caused the outage, and then Team Sonic has to go stop him before Shadow caused more chaos in Tokyo.
But what good is a dastardly plot if you can't conspire with family?
There's two Eggmen now?
Double your villains, double your fun.
Okay, there's so much to comment about this. So basically, Gerald was like, how could you think of a desperate plan if you don't have family behind you? So basically, it's been clear that Team Sonic has been captured and has been double-crossed by Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik, which, to be fair, it has been teased in a one Halloween short where Shadow goes, boo, and then it shows the exact same clip of, that really is scary. And throughout this moment, you see both of the Robotniks, Iowa Robotnik and Gerald Robotnik, walk to each other, and you notice that Sonic is waking up. They probably must have got knocked down by Shadow, and Sonic is like, wait, there's two of them now? Great, there's supposed to be some SpongeBob references by saying, oh, there's two of them?
There's 2 Eggmen now?
There's 2 of them!
And then you got Jim Carrey's Robotnik just saying, W villains, W fun.
W villains, W fun.
Which clearly, I guess Jim Carrey's like, when he's off the Mushroom Planet during the events of Sonic 2, he starts to be hip and cool with Gen Z with Earth is my turf, G. If you don't know how to floss, you'll be lost without me. It's more like, this is all your fault, Gen Z. The Sonic movie crew, they're just looking at your social media accounts and be like, oh, what do kids say nowadays? They say W, they say Res, they say Skibbity. You're going to influence the Sonic movie writers and filmmakers just to include that for future sequels. This is all on you. So, either way, we move on to the next shot where Shadow is up above with the marble.
Any last words?
Nice magic marble, real scary. That actually is real scary. Trick shot.
Okay, the one thing that's really cool is not only the visual effects looks really stunning in this sequence, like Keanu's line of saying, any last words, kind of reminds me of what Jim Carrey said to Sonic in the first film, any last words, quack, I like that word. But then, when the portal exists to suck them in, dude, I really love the dynamic of how Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles try to utilize their abilities and try to find their other ways just to get back home. It definitely reminds me of parallel for what happened in Sonic 2, once when Robotnik knocks down Tails, and then Knuckles and Robotnik leaves when an avalanche comes by, and then literally Sonic uses a ring to get some help from Tom, aka the Donut Lord in Sonic 2, but they snow crash through Rachel's wedding in Sonic 2. But in Sonic 3, it got a similar vibe, except there's no wedding subplot, thank goodness. But instead, you got Tom wearing a Donut Lord outfit, then you got Maddie just wearing an apron that's baking some goodies, probably for like Sonic's birthday, I guess.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super... Knuckles, do you mind?
Oh, excuse me.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top secret mission.
When?
Are you ready?
We were born ready.
So anyway, as we move on to the next sequence, first of all, another hilarious joke where Sonic's trying to warn Tom and Maddie, the Knuckles moves out the way by saying, sorry. And then when Sonic just needs the assistance for Tom and Maddie, and Tom is like full up, straightforward, just saying he's in. Like, basically, we could tell that the first half of the movie will take place in Tokyo, Japan, because that's where Shadow escaped. And then that's where they go to London, UK, because I'm pretty sure Sonic and his team are aware of what Eggman, Gerald, and Shadow's plans for what they're doing in this country of London, UK, aka setting up the Space Colony Ark. And it's so cool that the filmmakers find a way to still utilize the human characters, which, don't get me wrong, I like the human characters, but obviously I'm here for the Sonic stuff. I'm here for Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Eggman, Gerald. But for the non-Sonic characters, they just try to find a way to like utilize them, make sure it's not like a cringeworthy subplot, just like the wedding scene in the second film. But either way, it's kind of funny that almost all of them, I don't know about Wade Whipple, aka the Flames of Disaster guy, Tom's a gun agent, Maddie's a gun agent, Rachel makes sense because she's married to one, so that's why you saw Randall one shot. But then here's one interesting thing where Tails has like a jetpack, which I'm pretty sure he invented that for himself, going in a very The Rock zoom in Black Adam. It's so cool to see Team Sonic just going in full swing, going in full charge, where they're full on speed ahead, Avenger style team up. And then literally you got Team Robotnik, aka Team Shadow, Team Dark, Team Badniks, whatever you want to call them. Robotnik getting out from the sewage and literally just go on, come on, Gradio, let's do this.
Come on, Granddaddy-o. We've got dirt to do.
It's where he says, come on, Granddaddy, we got some dirt to do, which basically tried to accomplish his work. Just like in Sonic Adventure 2, where Eggman actually goes to the Space Colony Ark. I like the fact in this iteration, because you know in Sonic Adventure 2, they got Team Hero, right, where they got Team Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, so which basically that's the main trio. But then in Team Dark, you got Eggman, Shadow, and Rouge. But since clearly Rouge the Bat is not in this movie, gee, is it because of booby reasons? Just because, you know, kids cannot handle sexy bat women? Or either way, it's so funny that instead of using Rouge the Bat, it's Gerald Robotnik who's back from the dead, or maybe he's been alive, I don't know. But either way, Gerald replaces Rouge in the Sonic Movie 3 lineup of Team Dark, where you got Shadow, Eggman and Gerald Robotnik, which I think that's pretty funny. So I don't know if they're going to use Rouge, whether it's to hide her boobs or not, but either way, I just find that funny. And then for Amy Rose, I'll talk more about that later on, which I do believe she'll set up for a post-credit scene. But anyway, back to the main point where they're in the bloody London, UK, Spider-Man Far From Home style, where you got an evil, mad science genius that wants to have some catastrophe literally at the London Bridge, Spider-Man Far From Home style, but instead it's the Space Colony Ark rising up.
With Shadow's power, we can rule humanity.
Okay, during the sequence, like once when Gerald is talking about once when we utilize Shadow's power, then you see Jim Carrey's Eggman wearing a game-accurate Eggman suit, which talk about a huge glow from black scientist coat to flight suit to this movie iteration of the pre-Eggman suit, Sonic 2, and then the Sinister 3.0 suit, and now the fat suit's like, this is why I'm so happy as a longtime Jim Carrey fan that he's up for 3 Sonic movies. Not only he's committed to like let the actor who plays Agent Stone cut his whole hair, but just go into the full evolution glow up of Eggman. And what's really interesting that we see this one shot where Shao's getting upset, I'm assuming it's possibly the shot where Maria is dead, just like what we saw in the last trailer where Shao's getting pissed off and having vengeance just to attack all the gun soldiers, attack humanity before Shao gets locked up. So I do believe it's part of the tragedy of his origin story. But also, aside from Eggman suits, even Gerald has his own glow-up Eggman suit, which that has never happened before in the games. But then when Robotnik says, I'm going to enslave humanity, like definitely it gives me the vibe of that one unused line from Sonic 2 where he's like, Hedgehog, it's time to say goodbye to humanity.
Hedgehog, it's time to say goodbye to humanity. With Shadow's power, we can rule humanity.
But instead of making the Death Egg robots in Space Colony Ark, and we definitely see the gun headquarters literally nearby, which I'm pretty sure that's where Team Sonic and the gun agents are doing their best just to get onto the Space Colony Ark, just like what you do in the Sonic Adventure 2 game. But either way, the one thing that I just find that's pretty interesting is the fact that so they're using Shadow's power and he's running over the eclipse. So basically, once when they use his power, that's where I believe that's where the Space Colony Ark will go function. But then what I find what's so interesting is the fact that Jim Carrey's Robotnik wants to enslave and dominate humanity. I have a theory of what if Gerald Robotnik wants to destroy humanity completely after for what they've done to Maria. And it literally follows up to this line for what Shadow says.
When we're done, there won't be anything left to rule.
He literally just says, when we're done, there won't be anything left to rule. Like, you literally see both of the Robotniks and Shadow just literally standing side by side, and Shadow's probably just thinking, if we destroy this planet, then what's left to rule? Like, for instance, I think that's what Gerald is planning to do, like, have no human life whatsoever, probably have a career planet of his own, and I feel like that's going to be a conflict between granddad versus grandson by saying, no, I want to enslave humanity, not destroy them. And then it's like, no, humanity is wants to take away your poor cousin, Ivo. You are better than that, Ivo. Be a proper Robotnik. So I definitely imagine like a conflict if that's ever the case. But then this hilarious moment, which we got Agent Stone even commenting this line.
That is dark.
It is pretty dark stuff. And then for the hilarious Snap Q memes, I've come to make announcements. I'm going to piss on the moon. Bro, they actually did. Like, I know that's a thing that Eggman does in the original Sonic Adventure 2 game, but the fact that's reminded me of the meme, Jim Carrey's Eggman and Gerald, they pissed on the moon. Take that, Obama.
How do you like that, Obama? I pissed on the moon, you idiot!
Oh, man, this movie's already peak already.
Somebody better call Google Maps.
You don't need Google Maps for that, Sonic, so it's pretty pointless. You might lose signal at that point.
Life's all about the choices we make. Remember to listen to your heart. You're gonna make the right choice when it matters the most.
So as we were listening to Tom's Uncle Ben's speech to Sonic, I really love this moment where we're seeing Shadow with Maria, and also it's giving me flashbacks to the recent Sonic and Chao Generations Dark Beginnings, where we see Shadow and Maria's relationship, which those animated shorts are really done well, which I've already made a reaction to that in a separate live stream. But either way, it's so cool that we got recent media acknowledging that, where Shadow imagines the life what he could have had with Maria with the Without You song. But now we get to see that in the movie iteration. Then we see the capsule where Shadow was insecure this whole time, being a part of the Ultimate Life Form project, including to, quote-unquote, be a cure of Maria's terminal illness since she couldn't go to Earth. But clearly, you know, she doesn't live that long. And that's why I just find that's pretty interesting. And then that leads to Shao's vengeance. And then I like this wholesome moment where Sonic gets to hug Knuckles, which, It kind of reminds me of a scrap concept art where Sonic's hugging Tails like in a big grass field. I find this like really good character development between Sonic and Knuckles, because in Sonic 2, they were seen as sworn enemies with each other with their conflicts of their origin stories, and of course Robotnik using Knuckles just to chase after the Master Emerald, and then after that, Knuckles felt betrayed, then he becomes friends with Sonic. And even the Knuckles series, Knuckles tries to like get along to Sonic's Earth's customs, so I kind of find it pretty wholesome that Sonic and Knuckles are hugging each other by saying, look, even though we may have our rough starts and we weren't like friendly to each other, but hey, throughout over the past months or years, we're bros now, we're buddies now. So that's why they hugged it out. And then the moment where I shout in the, like literally in the reaction, bro, Shadow has a blinky, and just goes bap, bap, bap. It's like, bro, like I get the movie's rated PG, it's not gonna go PG-13, but the fact that Jeff Fowler, he didn't have to do this, but he did. Either way, where Shadow is holding a gun. I mean, it's not like a similar AK-47 or Block, but either way, it's a nice homage that Shadow the Hedgehog is holding a gun. And just like Keanu Reeves, John Wick is no stranger to guns because he lots of guns. And also because, you know, Jeff Fowler worked on those cutscenes and did the Shadow bite, the Shadow gun. It's like, you could tell Jeff Fowler's been doing his homework, not just to pay off what he did for that Shadow video game back in 2005, but man, the elements of how the way it's adapted, perfect.
One hedgehog to another. Who does your highlights?
The more you talk, the harder I want to hit you.
And then we get to the conflicts where Sonic, as usual, is being snarky, being cocky, and just be like, so where do you get your highlights? And then Keanu's like, the more I hit you, the more I want to talk. And basically, what's interesting that when he's riding on the motorcycles, definitely giving me vibes of John Wick Chapter 3, where he's on Tokyo with the motorcycles. Like, yeah, the comparisons between John Wick and Shadow are pretty uncanny for Keanu's roles, which John Wick was the blueprint for that. But either way, we get an extra shot where Sonic and Shadow were fighting up in the sky, just like what we saw in the last trailer. And then we get to this.
This ends now!
Like, literally, like, the line delivery that Ben Schwartz says, this ends now! You can tell Sonic is ticked off. And if you look closer to his eyes, it's an implication of the Chaos Emeralds. And if you remember in Sonic 2, he held the Master Emerald, it breaks, and then he becomes Supersonic. I know it's a spoiler, thanks to McDonald's and a couple of merchandise, which is a no-brainer that he'll get Supersonic versus Super Shadow in Sonic 3. I can easily see that happening in the final act, Sonic Adventure 2 style, kind of like in Sonic X. Hopefully play Live and Learn at the end. And then, when we get to the tease of the Space Colony Ark, we see Agent Stone all dusty in the ground. Like, of course, the reference for what humans look above in the Sonic Adventure 2 game when the Space Colony Ark blows up the moon. Bro, I feel like Stone is going to be betrayed. Not just Team Sonic, like that was expected, but Stone's not being part of the team just because Eggman is so close with his grandpa and they still want to use Shadow. Like, even Stone commented earlier by saying, this is pretty dark. So I'm like, man, I honestly feel bad for Agent Stone now, the fact that he's left out. Who knows, maybe he wants to help Sonic.
Our destiny awaits.
Okay, this epic moment where Eggman is rising up with all the technology of the Space Colony Ark. Of course, he's done this before with the Death Egg in Sonic 2, but once again, it reminds me of concept art where you see like all these electric waves with all of his Eggman suits. Like, come on, you can't get more Eggman than that.
You were right about one thing. This ends now.
The one thing that is so epic about this, you see the Eclipse Cannon about to make its shoot its mark, and then you see Sonic and Shadow, like, you see, like, lava and Equator breaking over. Are they fighting on the moon? Are they fighting, like, somewhere in the Space Colony Ark? I'm like, bro, the stakes are so high in this. And then literally Shadow says the line that Sonic says, this ends now, which is a marketing tagline for the movie, but also part of the merchandise as well. I mean, I kind of wish there was one line that says, I'm nothing like you. So I think that would have been so cool. But either way, I think that this sequence, when the equator and the Earth is about to be obliterated, I can imagine, like, with the emeralds of Sonic's eyes, we can definitely see the Super Sonic versus, like, Super Shadow fight. And also, let's not forget in the first trailer, we see Tails getting swung down from the Space Colony Ark. Even Knuckles is in the background. What if Tails is doing his best just to save Sonic? Just like Sonic Adventure 2, where Sonic actually sacrificed himself just to save Tails and Amy for a Chaos Emerald, but then Sonic actually got saved through the Chaos Control, and then tags along with Knuckles, and they race along with Shadow, just like in the game. It would be so cool if we get, like, a different iteration of that. And then, of course, we've seen this before in a TV spot where you see Jim Carrey's Ivor Robotnik getting freaked out that his grandfather's dressed as Santa Claus and just gets freaked out over it. So it's like, the second time I see... No. The third Jim Carrey Christmas movie that involves an evil, angry Krampus that hates Christmas, but instead of how the Grinch stole Christmas, it's how Professor Robotnik stole Christmas. And the fact that he freaks out like a kid at Christmas morning just goes, ah! Like, come on, I can't stop thinking of the Grinch meeting Dr. Robotnik, just be like, nice kid, bad, just a character.
Jim Carrey is the Grinch.
But either way, I think it's really good for like Christmas marketing reasons. But secondly, I think it's supposed to be like a flashback sequence where Eggman wishes he has the childhood that he could have had back in the day since he's reunited with his grandpa. And yeah, that being said, that's the full trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Like, tickets are on sale right now, so I got to get them ASAP and get ready for the cosplay stuff. But that being said, we'll have to wait and see because the movie's like over an hour 49 minutes, so it's not going to be like super long. But in a way, we just got to like make sure like we're advised and make sure we are seated for all of it, from all the Sonic Adventure 2 elements, the Shadow game elements. And the only thing that's missing is obviously Rouge of the Bat, Amy Rose, and the Bio Lizard. Well, the Bio Lizard, aka the original life form that Joe Robotnik made, will be in the movie. If Paramount has the balls to put that in the final act in the budget, that would be cool, but I don't think that's going to be, I don't know if it's going to oversaturate the final act of Super Sonic versus Super Shadow and the Space Colony Ark, make sure it doesn't get obliterated. So we'll have to wait and see and watch the movie ourselves. And then for Amy Rose, maybe for a post-credit scene, but just not in a major storyline because you don't want to overshadow like Shadow the Hedgehog storyline, and even Jeff Ballard teased that at literally an article not too long ago. But that being said, the movie was hype. It was such a peak trailer, and I gotta say this, cannot wait for more Sonic 3 content later this December, including my cosplay stuff. I want to let you guys know, is there anything that I missed in this trailer that I should have like acknowledged? Just let me know down in the comments down below. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next video. Take care now, bye-bye then, or just to quote the iconic meme, I come to make an announcement, Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch
Swiss roll.
piss on the moon!
I come to make an announcement.